challenging act to follow. I want to apologize. I don't have a voice right now because my boss decided to sick militarized riot police on my students at 4 a.m. on Saturday and shot tear gas at us, so I can't really talk right now. And I tried, so I apologize for that if I'm less than coherent right now. I should also probably say that at dawn on Saturday, while militarized police sent by Mr. Bill Flanagan to terrorize our community, while that was taking place, I was informed, as my friend, my comrade, my Jewish brother David just said, I was informed by the Vice President of Facilities and Operations, Frank Page, that or Page, I suppose, along with all of my students, my community, my colleagues, I'm not allowed on this campus for a year. So I just should probably say, Frank, are you here? Frank, should I leave right now? Do you guys want me to leave?
No!
Alright, so that's up.
You can stay. He was scared. He was scared.
Shit, yeah, but yeah, absolutely.
He had the guns and he was scared.
Second of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for being in community with us today, and in particular, our fucking brilliant and fucking courageous students. And most especially, I want to thank our Palestinian students. Refuse the genocide of their people, who refuse to normalize the total violence of the Zionist state. I'm gonna look at them, but I'm probably gonna cry if I look at them, so I probably shouldn't. You teach me, in your unrelenting commitment to justice for all, what it is to practice and to live Samud. Samud, as I understand it from our colleague Mohamed Ayash, is a philosophy and a praxis of steadfast perseverance. Samud names an anti-colonial repertoire of Palestinian defiance, Palestinian refusal, and Palestinian resistance. It describes an unflinching insistence of the otherwise, of the right to return, of a world beyond land theft, ethnic cleansing, apartheid, and genocide. This Saturday, just after 4 a.m., Bill Flanagan and the University of Alberta deployed batons, pepper bullets, and an army of riot cops in an attempt to eliminate Palestinian Samud. In an attempt to eliminate the prefigurative glimmers of a loving, multiracial, interfaith, multinational learning community that my students built. But I want to be so fucking clear here. Sorry, I curse a lot. I'm from Brooklyn. Flanagan's attempt at eradication was a profound failure. And that's because, as our students consistently remind us, we will not rest till U of A divests.
We will not rest till U of A divests. We will not rest till U of A divests. We will not rest till U of A divests.
Now, Saturday was indeed horrifying, and to be honest, I'm not in a place right now where I can really go there entirely with you. But I need us to understand the recent violence that Bill Flanagan unleashed on our community is just one particularly brutal chapter in a persistent and systematic campaign by the University of Alberta to repress opposition to colonialism, occupation, and racial genocide in historic Palestine. In November, the university dismantled supports for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence when Samantha Pearson and her such badass crew, the folks at the Sexual Assault Center, were fired for solidarity with Palestinians. According to the Calgary Sun, and I'm going to quote for you, quote, Premier Danielle Smith's office was engaged in the university's decision. Also in November, Flanagan issued a public statement criminalizing Palestinian faculty, staff, and especially students for mourning their martyred loved ones in Gaza, the West Bank, occupied East Jerusalem, and 48 Palestine. A right-wing Zionist organization called the Jewish Federation of Edmonton proudly took credit for lobbying the university to criminalize my students. In January, over 1,200 members of our community pleaded with Bill Flanagan, Verna Yu, Ravina Singera, and Carrie Smith to meet with us to discuss their refusal to condemn what should be absolutely crystal clear to each one of us. After the murder of well over 40,000 people, and after 76 years of occupation, this is a genocide! Flanagan politely declined our invitation. In February, when a Conservative Party MP, I wasn't going to call her out, but I see some of our more favorite MPs here, so let's name her. When Rachel Thomas smeared me and my colleagues, my Black colleagues, my Latinx colleagues, my Kashmiri colleagues, and my Palestinian colleagues as anti-Semites for opposing genocide. When she did this in the House of Commons, my university pretended on record like they don't know who the fuck I am. You paid my check! You paid my rent!
Self-serving cowards!
I'll also say, we're just not gonna let Miss Rachel Thomas call a Jewish professor an anti-Semite. We're not gonna let that happen. We are not gonna let a university that routinely accepts money and funding from Nazis use my name and the guise of Jewish safety as a shield to protect itself when it decides to brutalize my students. We are not going to let a university claim to care about anti-Semitism when they stick the fucking police on Jewish professors, students, and community members. So they use words to silence us. They've used slander. They've tried legislation. So we shouldn't be at all surprised that on Saturday, Bill Flanagan and his thugs decided to use the brute force of the state to shut up and shut down an unequivocally peaceful and damn right beautiful collective assembly. Now, there's just so much beauty that happened over 2 days. Like, it's wild that was 2 days. David, I think, really captured it. I'm just gonna read like a few sentences from a student during my organization, Independent Jewish Forces, along with our comrades, organized an interfaith liberation Shabbat on Friday evening. So the police beat us up after, after we were having it was beautiful. Let me just read this. For me and many Palestinians, it was our first time being included in a Shabbat. After dinner, I noticed someone was crying, and out of curiosity, I asked what was wrong. It was explained they were crying because of how beautiful the community was. After looking around, I noticed several people were crying for the same reason. Everyone was filled with so much hope for a greater future. That is what that hope for a post-Zionist, I would say anti-Zionist future, which is what is most supremely feared by these supremacists. Definitely the most memorable 2 days of my life. Flanagan and his thugs stole that from us. I also want to say in echo, I'll wrap up. Okay, I'm good. Just want to say in echo of David, what we also gathered was not only university faculty, students, and staff, but we actually had a community of all of Amasquatchie Waskagan. I want to give a special shout out to the so-called outsiders from the Tawau Collective, and Independent Jewish Voices. I'm not going to name you because I know I'm going to name you. These outsiders who cared for our students when Flanagan brought the real outsiders to our campus. Who defended our students. We don't have outsiders here except the police. No cops on campus. There's so much to say. I'm gonna leave it here. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Oh, and guess they're trying to criminalize this one too. From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the sea to the river!
From the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever!
Palestine will live forever!
Palestine will live forever!
Palestine will live forever!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
I love you all.